I'm working on Tivoli network tools like Omnibus, Impact, WebGui, and ITM, also TSR and gateways. Today, I'm here to discuss about my demo session on Netcool Omnibus. Our Netcool Omnibus is a service level management tool which is very much useful and which is very appropriate, not that much of approximate. It's an appropriate showing the view, consolidated view of errors, also issues raised in the stations or in substations of the service providers like telecommunications and also banking sectors and also database storage sectors, and whatever the vast number of networks they will use Netcool Omnibus and other monitoring tools. But we suggest Netcool Omnibus. Why? Because it have many integrations and ticketing integrations to perform a consolidated views of issues before the issue affecting the customers. So that the main motto of our Netcool is to provide our service providers customer a best satisfaction, so that our service providers like telecommunications, the vast and most leading network like Airtel, Vodafone, and many other networks like Reliance, and also banking sectors like MFUGs uses Netcool Omnibus to overcome the loss of their customers. That means, let us take an example of Airtel and Vodafone systems. They have many number of connections and vast number of towers. In case due to some weather issues or any power fluctuations, there is a network issues raised in some substation or any tower, the area which is under that substation will lose the connectivity. That means signal strength and also bandwidth. So the people, that means customers of that area, will lose the Airtel connections and choose another service provider. So it's a vast loss to the network provider. So to overcome this type of issue, we detect the issue before affecting the customer and provide and consolidate view to the network operations center, which means NOC center of the Netcool, so that he will raise the ticket to the related engineer, and then he will immediately resolve that issue and acknowledges us. So within seconds, that means within seconds, we will resolve the issue which is raised in that location. And the main reason why we are using Netcool Omnibus is which is a service level management tool which provides a in-memory database named called object server, which stores every event and which effectively collects the errors from the network that is connected using probes. On coming to the main components of this Netcool Omnibus object servers, probes, gateways, and administrative tools, and event list, WebGui, and basic failover and import explicitly tools are advanced concepts of Netcool Omnibus. And mainly coming to the architecture of this Omnibus, this is the main architecture of the Omnibus. Here, the probes, the main part, that means the initiative part to collect the errors or events or alarms from the network, is based on probe, which is worked under probe. Why? Because probe is a Java code which acts as a detector to detect the errors and issues of a network or any system or any tower, any substation, and collects the issues and sends that issues to this NCOMS named object server. This object server is an in-memory database, which is the heart of the Omnibus, and which is the core, which have the capability of storing events of certain limit and perform certain operations according to the client's requirement, and convert the error issues which are understandable to the NOC people, that means NOC people, so that NOC people can easily identify the error and raise the ticket to the related engineer. Why? Because we are using this Omnibus, we don't want to maintain number of people in the number of stations and increasing the number of towers. So when we use this Omnibus, single Omnibus can maintain number of towers, error issues, and also alarms even a man cannot. So that after a probe connects to that network and collects the errors and sends that errors to the object server. Here, object server performs several operations like triggering and also enrichment that event. For suppose in my house, my system have some issue of battery draining and below 20%. So probe can connect to my system and raise that issue and sends the object server, that means Omnibus. Here Omnibus can enrich the event and easily converts that event into understandable mode, like Kalyan's system have the battery draining which is under 20%. So any person can easily identify what the issue is raising in that system location. So we can easily resolve that issue. After getting such an operations in this Omnibus object server, it can send the events to event list, either directly to this event list or using WebGUI. Here WebGUI is a web browser and it consists of tip, which is very easily accessible to the every events raised by the network. We can see all these error and issues and events in the browser. And here gateways. These gateways are the name which indicates which behaves like a channel, so that using these gateways we can transfer the events from one location to another location. Here one location to another location means from object server to RDBMS, which is a third party database that is used to storage of event data. And another one is helpdesk CRM, which is a ticketing system. Here we can raise the tickets. And here Netcool Omnibus Administrator, which is the main role for the event enrichments or triggering purposes, everything, creation of users, roles and triggers, and also administrator and giving the properties to the everything. Here Netcool Administrator plays the major role. And this extra one, ncoms B, is the backup object server. To maintain a heavy flood of events or error or alarms, we want some backup object server to protect this primary object server by hanging. That means to protect this object server for this profiling, we can need ncoms B, that means a backup object server. These two object server will resync, and same events have to be synced between these object servers using this bidirectional gateway. Why? Because this bidirectional gateway every time checks which object server is up or down. If a primary object server is down, then immediately probes will connect to the secondary object server, and gateway knows the primary down and the primary object server is down, so we have to up the secondary object server. This is mainly caused due to heartbeat message raising between these two object server of the gateway, and certain operations and certain properties have to be set to this gateway to know which one is the master and which one is the backup. Okay. uh, and these are the main components. Object server already discussed, the probe, gateways and event list. This event list is the main part which plays the main part to show the alarms and the events to understandable to the not people or us. That means, for suppose a service provider have some loss of signal, it shows it shows in the event list that certain subsystem is lost their signal, like this. And administrator tools, I already discussed this administrator tools. We have to create certain instructions and perform right click tools there. And WebGUI server, WebGUI server is a browser server we have to install from it. Another third party tool, it have some tip and integrated to the browsers. And gateways, these gateways are the channel between the object server and the other third party database or help desk systems. And another one is object server. Already discussed, object server is a in-memory database which is a core, so that it can store every event in it and perform certain operations. And event information is forwarded to the object servers by using probes. On coming to the probes, probes are mainly two types. One is an active type and second one is a passive type. Actually, probe is a detecting agent, right? So that it detects in two different formats. For example, for active one, it goes to that network and connects to that network elements, that means NMS, EMS systems, by using their hostname and IPs and ports, and collects the event by itself. So that's why we call it as active probes. Whereas the passive probes waits for the event that should be fired to the probe. Whenever events are fired to this probe using SNMP of the system, then only this probe sends that events to the Netcool Omnibus. And each probe is uniquely designed to acquire a event data. Probes can acquire data from sources like network devices, database, log files, everywhere. And coming to the gateways, gateways enable exchange of events between object server to third parties like databases and also help desk. Why? Because gateway, the name itself indicates a channel. So that object server gateway to replicate event between backup and primary, we call it as failover and failback. Why? Because failover means whenever primary is down, the backup object server come into the action and works, and so that the high availability will maintain equity. And whereas failback is known as whenever the primary object server is up itself, the backup object server will down itself, and again the primary will come into the action. And the main application of the gateways is to integrate business functions like reporting and auto troubleshooting, etc. The transfer of events once configured is transparent to the operators. And I mentioned so many times here the Netcool Administrator GUI tool, which is a most important graphical tool. Here we can configure and manage object servers, and the process agent is one of the topic and most important topic. Why? Because process agent is also called process control. Here we can inform a process agent that it should run the object servers, gateways, probes, and another Perl scripts or shell scripts that should be running on our Linux or any systems automatically. So using this process agent or process control, we can automatically up without any manual interruption. It will up the object servers, gateways, and probes. And another one is this one is the Netcool Administrator GUI tools. Here we can create users and assign the roles to that users, and also restrict that users to see certain type of alarms. Why? Because let us take an example here. For two people which are from one person is from Coca-Cola and another person is from Johnson and Johnson service providers, we are monitoring both of the service providers. All the events comes to the single omnibus, but no one of the user see both the events, so that we restrict the user to certain limit of the event, certain nodes of that service provider. Only Coca-Cola user will see the Coca-Cola events, and the vice versa. And the most functions are available via SQL interface. And another one is the event list. It was the desktop integrated suite of graphical tools we can see in our systems also. And if we want to see the event list in our browser, we need to integrate it with WebGUI, which is a third-party tool. Event information is delivered in a format that we can use quickly determine availability of resources. Okay, and most of the features of the desktop are also available in WebGUI components also. This is the screenshot which shows the event list in our desktop. Here, every object server has certain fields which shows from which location and what is the situation and which severity and how it will occur. Every node has specifications to know the reason the event raises. See here, for suppose it have the primary column like node. That means from which node does that event rises? Is it from Sydney or from Hyderabad or from India or any country? The client easily knows from which node that event raises. And alert group. This alert group is the alert containing groups. That means, for example, my system drains my battery. So here an alert group is system's battery is the alert group. So easily we can identify, oh yes, it's an draining of the battery problem. So alert group raises a system battery, and the main thing was summary. This summary shows why this situation occurs to that station or substation. Here the first one is the link down on port. That means it disconnects the ports. The port was disconnected and the machine has gone offline. In this way we can easily identify the nodes in every port, every systems of our customers network, and easily raise these issues before our customer got affected. Okay, and the final one is the this one is the web GUI. This web GUI is integrated to our Omnibus to get all the Omnibus events in a browser. In browser we can easily identify this event list using one and single URL, and also we can run inside Tivoli integrated tip, which is a Tivoli integrated portal. Clients can connect to this tip access the GUI, and the web GUI can be configured for integrating with other Tivoli products like ITM and Impact and several products. And here this web GUI consists of AEL, that means active event list. This active event list is a Java applet which shows the event information. Also it consists of lightweight event list. Whenever this Java doesn't support to certain systems, this lightweight event list shows every event, but it's a HTML view. And also it provides a event dashboard, which is the crucial part of the web GUI. Why? Because we develop a dashboard with proper portlets. Here portlets means number of maps or any filters, any event information which is easily identified to the NOC people whenever seeing this web GUI dashboard. And coming to another advantages of this web GUI, there are so many maps and also chart random components. For example, let us take a world map. In world map, there are several nationals and several countries like Australia, Sydney, Beijing, Berlin. Using that map, we can point out certain locations that we are monitoring for our client. So whenever clicking on that point, that means that we can easily navigate to the events of that location only. So easily identify the severity events according to the severity colors. This one is the web GUI page and showing the active event list according to the severities. Here orange is the minor and blue one is the warnings, indeterminates, and the critical ones are red in color and the green ones are clear. We can easily interactive interface with the object servers using SQL commands. And lot more effective tools for this Netcool Omnibus is NCO Conpack and NCO OS reports to restoring the object servers, and also export and import the configurations to deploy duplicate systems. So that we use this type of NCO Conpack utilities and also OS report utilities to backup and restore purpose. And I already discussed the process agent. Why we are using process agent is it performs two primary tasks. It runs external procedures that are specified in automations, and also it manages local and remote processes, so that without our manual interruption and manual login and running of the certain object servers and also probes, it automatically runs whenever our Linux systems or Windows system ons. This process control system consists of two parts. That means process agents installed on each host for managing processes, and a set of command lines to utilize these object servers, probes, and gateways. And the server editor. Server editor is also called as omni.dat files in Linux and also server editors in Windows. Well, this server editor is used to maintain communication interface between Omnibus components. We have to edit this file to create new object servers, gateways like this. And also whenever we are configuring failover and failback part also, we will need to configure and edit this file. Why? Because this desktop client and client components connects to the object server using certain port values. according to the object servers, the port starts from 4100, and well, for gateways the port starts from 4300, and for PA 4200 in this way. And the proxy servers. This proxy server needing to is not much of need in this present real time, but it's such that much of useful to maintain flood of events. Why? Because it's usually alerts all forwarded directly to the object servers. These proxy servers can run and reduce the number of probe connections. Whenever there are new devices adding into our customer's network, there is a chance to install more number of probes to the newly added devices. So increasing of these events will affect an object server and reduce the performance. To overcome this issue, we need a proxy server. This proxy server will takes all the events from the probes and forward to the real object server. So the name that indicates a proxy is called, it doesn't act as the primary object server, but it's just a mediator to collect the event and sends to the real object server. And these are the deployment steps we will cover it in our sessions, because there is no need to explain every step in this demo. And these are the commands how to start and stop the object servers. And this one is the failover and failback part. Already discussed. This is called as high availability. High availability means we have to maintain all the event data and monitoring of event management 24/7. So this is called high availability of available of our object server 24/7. So whenever an increasing number of events and the probe connections and also connections of gateways in the network of our client, there is a chance to down of our object server. That means degrading the performance of our object server. So to overcome this issue, we need a failover and failback mode. Already discussed, failover means whenever the primary down, the secondary object server will come into action. And the failback means whenever the primary is up, automatically the actions and performance functionalities will taken back by the primary object server. Using bidirectional gateway in between these two object server, the every event should be synchronized in between the primary and secondary object server. So that the primary goal of this failover and failback is to maintain high availability of our Omnibus. And for the vast number of networks, like very large network like MFUGs, banking networks, and also telecommunications like umbrella fault management system, there are so many fault management systems. We use multi-tier architecture. That means each layer has its object servers and it has its own performance functions, so that no need to perform all the functions by a single object server, so that it divides the work in 3 different layers and work with high performance and high availability. It is mainly for load balancing also. The events collected by the probe is sent to all the 3 layers, and so that the load will be balanced in all the 3 layers and certain actions should be performed on the event. Here the naming is collection layer collects the events and the aggregation layer performs certain operations like event enrichments and the raising the records. The display layer connects to the web GUI and the event list. Display layer displays all the events that are collected from our network, so that the client will easily identify the events from the display layer to the web GUI. And the automations. Process alerts without requiring an operator. That means manual interruption or manual working. The name automation indicates it's an automatic alarm systems or automatic work predefined according to the SQL or its functions. For example, there are some, it's all called as triggers. In automations, the main part was triggers. Trigger, the name itself, trigger means automatically fires whenever predefined function meets the situation. Uh, For suppose it's an already previous example, let us take that whenever my system drains my battery of below 20%, my trigger have some predefined rules to raise as email or message whenever Kalyan system battery drowns between 20 to 10. So there is no possibility to maintain and checks every time I don't want to check my battery percentage, so that I write a trigger which is called as a sentiment trigger or SMS trigger. It checks every second my system and maintains the battery levels in its database and intimates me as a send SMS or email service according to the predefined functions. So that Netcool Omnibus includes a number of standard automations. That means number of triggers according to the situations raised in our client's location. So that triggers automatically perform a fire actions. There are three types of triggers are there: database triggers, temporal triggers, and also signal triggers. Signal triggers, we don't need to hands on them, and we don't need to edit the signal triggers. Why? Because the signal triggers rise whenever we are logging or closing, log out, exit, everything. Every signal rises when our failure and failback server signal rises every time. They will perform their actions. They are predefined triggers, but we mostly deal with the database and temporal triggers. Here, database triggers fire whenever there is any changes. That means insert, delete, update, control, this IDUC changes in the database. Okay, and also pre and post database triggers are two types in database triggers, which means they will perform their operation. Pre-database means which will perform their operation before the event is inserted into the database, and post-database means which perform the operation after inserting the event in the database. Well, on coming to the temporal trigger, which is a time-based trigger. Okay, this is mainly depend on the frequency and the time. For example, I have a number of events which are cleared events, that means severity of 0, so there is no need to putting the events in my database. So I want to delete such an events, cleared events after 2 minutes. So I don't want to check every 2 minutes for this type of cleared event. So I wrote a trigger like delete clear trigger, which deletes every cleared event in my database for every 2 minutes. So in this way, we use several triggers which are temporal and database triggers to maintain a perfect automations and easily for the developer. And procedures. These are the external procedures. These may be a Perl script or shell script that can be calling externally from our Linux or Windows system. These are mainly used in certain triggers like mailing triggers, send mail triggers. Okay, and these are the SQL commands to connect to the object server. We can easily connect to the object server and changing the properties, also set the passwords, and also shut down the object server using SQLs. And the final one is troubleshooting the object servers. When we need to troubleshoot the object server means whenever the object server is degrading its performance. So there are some files are there in certain locations like logs. There we need to check to the object server performance and we need to troubleshoot them. And the ports for the checking the ports and the cross agent commands are there. These are the, and finally this is the probe architecture. Probe also have some components like raw capture files and log file and also tokens like this. Here every probe have some rules file. In the rules also we can enrich the event, which is converting the raw data of the event taken from the network into an understandable manner to the client or NOC people. This one is the probes. Probes are already defined. Probes are two types: active and passive. According to the functionality, probes must be 6 types, which is SNMP, log file, device, and miscellaneous probes, and ping probe and FCN probe. Several probes are there: device, log files, database, API, call, and miscellaneous. According to their functionality. For suppose device probes works only on the inbuilt devices. That means device probes like Symnet probe, which acts as a testing probe. For suppose log file means syslog probes are there, which collects all the log informations from our systems and all the systems. Whereas database probes are there, which collects the information from databases. And CORBA, API, miscellaneous several probes are there according to their functions. Probes for agile ATM switch management detects event produced by a device, but it gets events from a log files also, not directly from the switch. Probes for Oracle obtain event data from a database. So these are the examples of the probes according to their functionality types. And also discuss components of the probes are the tools file, raw capture file, and the configuration file. And the gateways. Gateways already defined. Gateway is a channeling or to transfer events from one object server to another object server or maybe databases. Okay. Gateways are of three types: object server gateways and help desk gateways and database gateways. Here, object server gateways are of two types: unidirectional and bidirectional. Unidirectional gateways are the gateways which sends the events from object server to another object server in one way. That means it doesn't retrieve from secondary object server to primary object server. It only sends the events from primary object server to another object server. Whereas bidirectional gateway will both reader and writer operations. It will sends the event and takes the event from the one object server to another object server. Whereas database object servers, which is ODBC or JDBC gateways, these are also called as also known to be bidirectional gateways, which will transfer the events from our object server to the databases and store them in certain database tables. And the help desk gateways are TSRM, BMC, ServiceNow. Several gateways are there, which are ticketing gateways. And these are the gateways. And this is for my demo. If you have any doubts on my demo, will you please continue for the doubt session, inquiries?
This is the course content that we will be covering during our training. Okay, so it's like a 7 course content. So what I did is it's not just a CSA. Okay, so what are the topics that are part of CSSA as well. Okay, so I just took those topics and even added it to this course content. So it's like at the end of completion of this course,